Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you are having a good day so far and you still have some energy for the talk about unit of measure and packaging. First, I will introduce briefly myself. I'm Vincent Bollen, working as a business analyst for Odoo and part of the inventory expert team. There, as you probably know and are used to, there's the little QR code that you can start to scan now if you have questions, and at the end we'll find some time to answer them if we have time. So I'll let you a few seconds if you need to scan those. And I guess this is it. At the end it will be also there, so if needed, just remind you a question. So there, for your unit measure and packaging, this is a question that as an inventory expert or probably also as partner, or if you start to implement yourself, a question that is often coming to your mind is, what should I use as unit of measure and packaging and also package? When you see at this picture, it's not always so easy to find, and it will always depend on the context. For example, I can say, like, for this one, I will use the can as the unit of measure, and after there will be the boxes that can be the packaging or even the package. There's a bit of difference. And for the pallet, that can be the package. But it's really depending of the business. So this one is more if I start to produce all the can one by one and I need to follow the number of units of can that I have in stock. But on another example, if I'm just buying the pallet like this from my supplier, and after I will just resell them to the customer, there is no need at all to use the can as unit of measure, and you can perfectly use the full pallet since you don't need to touch it as the unit of measure. And so this is one of the questions. The other one is always the package. So since in this case I have decided to use my can as the unit of measure, now the question is, what should I use for the package? Because as you probably know, till now we are still limited to only one package. So I had to decide if I want to put my can in the system in the small box, bigger boxes, or the pallets. And so this is not always easy to find the best solution. But don't worry, because with the Odoo 19 we have two improvements that will help you for the decision, and also actually not make all the decision, because sometimes it will not be needed anymore. So for the first one will be the merge of unit and measure and packaging. And the second one is an important feature, so it's the pack in pack. So the fact that you can put a box on the pallet and everything on the system. First, I will discuss about the advantage of the merge in the system. So we will see together just after in the demo, but what's important to know is that now we don't have anymore the category units. So for the people that remember, there was some category units about the length, about the volume, about the quantity, everything. This is not existing anymore. Also another point now is that the packaging will be shared across the product. So you can just create one packaging, let's say for if you are still taking about the cans, the pack of 6, and this one can be put on different products, and you don't have, as before, to create a couple of times of the same packaging for each product. Another advantage that we have now is with the barcode, you can put multiple barcodes for one packaging. So for example, if you are buying the same product for different suppliers and they have different barcode, now just with one packaging you can put different barcode on the packaging, and so it will help you, and it works perfectly fine. When you will scan it, everyone will receive, the system will know that from vendor A or B, doesn't matter, but that's the same packaging that you have. Another change now, it's about the purchase vendor list. So as you might know, before we had to select one purchase unit of measure for per product. But now we have improved it, and you can also buy product but also buy vendor. It means that if you are buying from one vendor, you can say I will buy from them always in pack of 6, and from another one the main unit of measure for purchase will be the pack of 12. That can work perfectly fine in the system. And also now it's also working, because it was highly requested, is the price setting per packaging. It means that you can set in the system that if I buy one can, it will be €2. If I buy a pack of 6, it will be €10, so there is a bit of discount there. And it works perfectly fine now, because as you might know, before there was some issue with this. So now let's go inside Odoo to see how is it. So there I will go with my database and I will first check my product. So I will use my Odoo soft. And so there, as probably you know, this is really the main unit of measure that you will use. There what you can see, it's for the moment I set up in units. It means that everywhere in the system, this is what you will see. If I'm looking there at the smart button, you'll see that, for example, the stock is put in units. Also the purchase, everything is in units. Also when I will do some movement, it will be always in units. For your information, if you are still keeping units, after in the system now you are still able, if you didn't do any movements playing with packaging or something like this, that you can change the unit of measure in the system, but be careful because there will be no conversion to this. So it's really more if you say, I was using units, now I want to be more precise, I want to use scan, you can do it. But I'm showing you that there we see that we have 120 in stock. If I'm selecting pack of 6, you will see it can do the conversion, but it's mentioning that 1 unit will be 1 pack. And so there you can see there just transforming the name of the thing. So be careful and just use it at the beginning if you didn't play with other unit of measure before. So now what I will show you, it's like how is it looking like the new units and packaging, so really the merge. So this is now it's looking like, so there is no more, as I said before, the category units. Everything is mixed and you can play a bit around with everything you want. So there, I will not do it, but for example, you could put that a unit of, let's say, apple will be equal to 0.5 kilos. So for people buying sometimes in kilo and selling them by units after, it's perfectly feasible. Of course, you will need to put some conversion factor because otherwise the system will be a bit lost. And there, so for example, we have already the pack of 6 in the system, and now I will create the other one, pack of 12 there, and I will put, so in the system, I could put perfectly that's equal to pack of 6, you can find it there, or I can say it's equal to 12 units. As an advice, I will still use the units because sometimes you will see in the conversion that will appear if you are using pack of 6 there, that will be, it's equal to pack of 6 instead of 12 units. So this is why I prefer to keep like this. Now what you see also there, so it's still for units and packaging, is that you have also like the package type. So it means that I can select one of them. I will say this one I will box. So every time I will purchase from my vendor with a pack of 12, if I'm using the put in pack button, it will automatically consider that my packaging will be a box. For the people that are really advanced, you notice that now there is no more the route that can be selected for packaging, but it's now on the package type. So if I'm going there, what you can see there, you have now the route, and I can select some route that will be only applicable for this kind of package. I'm going back to my tool there, and now if I'm going back to my product again, so we are back there, and we go to the sales button. So there I have already put the pack of 6, and I can add now the one that I just created, the pack of 12. So it means that we'll see after when I will go to the sales, I can select both of them. And even now, I say, okay, I'm buying from my first vendor, his barcode is 1235. I can just create it like this, and the other one, I can just create another one because I have another vendor selling me the same product. I just create it like this, and both of them will work perfectly fine in the system. Now I will save it, and I will show you that if I'm going to my quotation, I will create a new one. I will sell to my soda addict customer, and I will put so my Odoo soft. By default, it will be the unit of measure, but I can select the two other ones that I have put in the tab just before, so the 6 or the 12. If I'm going now to the product and the purchase tab, so this is why I was telling you before, there I have already configured, and now you have noticed that I can configure from a same vendor that I have different units that I want to buy from them. By default, of course, when I will create my purchase, it will be the first one on the list, but after also, there you can see that there is the price. I'm using the same price that I mentioned before. So if you see the pack of 6 is 10, and for units it's €2. And I can also say for another vendor, I will buy by default by units. So now if I'm going to my purchase, and I will create a new one from my soda addict. No, sorry, that was from the soda company. And I will select the Odoo soft. You will see by default we'll take the pack of 6. And the price so will be the €10 as we said. But of course you can change it, and let's say I will change to the units, the new one. You see that the price is changing, and because before there was an issue there, now even if I put the 6 unit, it will still consider the price that I have set up for this one, and will not switch anymore to the bigger quantity. That was some issue that we had before. And I can so now start to confirm it. So I will say, for example, if I confirm my pack of 6 there for the quantity, as I was mentioning before, the receipt, they will be always in the main unit of measure, so the 6 times 6, 36. So that was for the merge. So now, if we go back to the other new feature, it's the packing pack. So it means that you can put a box in a box on a pallet and whatever. So you can really work with multi-level of package. That will give you, of course, a better visibility for your stock, and so because you can watch them by package, and you will be able to see have a better view from there. And of course, another possibility now is that we will see later on that we can move the full a full pallet or a full box at once in the internal move, as we will see. So now I will go back to Odoo and we'll go to the second one. So I'm going to my purchase. I've already created one. So I have all these different products. You can see I have different units. It will work. It will be fine after. So I'm confirming my order. And so the receipt is created. Normal way of proceeding. And you can see that we have all the quantity that can be there. So as you probably know, how we are doing before, it's still a bit working the same. Important stuff to mention before. You need to know if I'm going to some configuration in the operation type. It's good to know that I've ticked the box there, set package type, because you will see what will bring us right now. Going to my purchase again. Oops. The other one, my receipt. And now I will say, okay, I want to put the first can in a box. So now you can see that's all we're doing. So you put those one, and I will click on put in pack. And now, since I have done the configuration before, sorry, I can select the package type that I want. So I will say I want to put in a box, and I want to create a name one, so I let it empty. I will do the same for the second one, pretty easy and pretty fast. Put in pack, box, and I will create a new box. So there you can see it's the 11 and 12. And let's say now you are saying that you could put also those sparkling water with the orange juice because you have enough space. What you can do, just select the 20 again, and you can say put in pack. I will put my box, and there I will select the one that I have just put before, so the 12. I can find it in the list, and I put in pack. And now, so this is a bit the pack in pack. So if I want to put all of those 3 on a pallet, I will just select it, the pallet, and what we will see there is no change to pallet. But don't worry, it still means that it will be on the box and that will be on the pallet. So there you will see always the biggest package there. And so I will continue my reception. I will take the soda can. I will put 10 of them, and I will put in a box also. The second one, the last one, I put in the pack, in my box. I let it empty, so I create a new one. And now if I click in the pallet, what you will see there, it was in the pallet 4 before. If I click it, actually everything sends to pallet 5. So this is not actually what we wanted, because we don't want to put a pallet on a pallet. Since everything was there, it means that everything was put on this pallet. I'm going to the package to see a bit how is it looking. There's a filter to see the main package, so the biggest one again. So you see that everything is on the pallet. You can of course take it out, and you will see the different one, and every time the destination. So it means that the box 11 is on the pallet 4, and like this. And there what you can see, it's actually the pallet 4, it's in the pallet 5, but we didn't want this. So since we didn't validate yet, we can easily select the pallet 5. I will remove it. Now if I'm going back there, I see that I have the same before. And if I want to put those two together, what I will do is just going to package, select the boxes that I wanted, so both of them, and I will click again on palette, on put in pack, palette, and put as the number 5. And now everything is fine there. I have everything on my palette right there. So now I can just validate it, and I have it in stock. To show you how is it in stock, now if I'm going to my package, we can see there, oops. I will take, for example, the palette 4 that we just created. And if you want to see how is it looking like actually in the package barcode with the content, so just downloading now. Sorry. And now this is actually the label that we will print. So you will have like the palette 4, and you will see all the different boxes that are inside, and with all the components, and of course there is barcode everywhere since we have set up in the system before. What's also nice now, if I'm going from there to see a bit the physical inventory, what we could do, this is a little field that I have created with Studio, so most of you know it's really easy to do it. And now what I would like to do is just, I will group by with the container, and after I will also by package. Now what we can see there, I have all my different palettes. I can just click, I can see on the palette 4, I have the other one, and you can see all the quantity that are there. You can always extend it the way you want. So there's a good visibility now thanks to this. So you can play with this, and you can see how many palettes you have, and all this thing like this. Now I was talking about the internal transfer that can be really done fast. So let's say I want to move one of my palettes, and also another product. What I can do, I will go to my internal transfer, and I will select, okay, I want to move from stock to a specific shelf. So I'm selecting there the shelf 1. Now I can have the button like the move a pack, and I will select my palette 4. So we will see that all of the 3 products will be moved, but we can also select, for example, one of the 2 boxes that are on the palette 5. So there we see that there's 2 of them. I will select the 13, and I will validate it there. So there now we see that I have all my products that are set up there, and I can just validate it easily. And there will be after in the system, of course, this one will stay on the palette, and this one has been removed for the palette 5 because the palette 5 will stay in the main stock with the other boxes that was on it. I can simply validate it like this. And now I will do a last demonstration for actually a sales. And for this I will use actually the barcode, because most of the time when we are moving stuff around the warehouse, most of the people are doing that with the barcode. So I've already created my order, so there you see that I have selling 12 of each of them. So I will confirm it, and I will go to my delivery. What we can see there in my delivery is that I have the barcode that is ready there I can directly access to the barcode from there. So I don't need to go to the barcode app, I can jump directly there. And I will show you with some scan how is it working now. So first, as you know, I will have to scan my source location. So I'm taking there, it's mentioned on the screen that I have to take from stock. So it validated, and I will take my product. There, right, so for you to see, I've said that I was using the packaging of 6, so all the pack of 6. And so I will start to take my Odoo soft. So I have my barcode that sits here, of course. I will scan it. You see directly 6 by 6, they will be added. And now, that's another one that you can have probably on you if you are walking around the house. There's another barcode that you can use for you to see, but it's like the box or the palette. And so there I will just scan. For this one, it's already in the box, so I don't need it. But for example, I will scan after the other one. So there I need to switch that I'm going to pick in shelf 1. So now I'm scanning to my shelf 1. And I will do the other products. So I will do first the apple juice scan. I'm scanning 1, 2. And I will put in a box, as I said, with my paper from just before, scanning the barcode box. That's something that you can put next to you on your clock if you are working with this. And you see that it's put in one box. And after, since both of them are still selected, I can select, I will put them on palette. And you see that this one, this box 15, will be put on the palette 6. and also the box from before will be put also on pallet 6. And I can walk for the others, so I will continue to do my reception pretty fast. I will scan this one on the shelf 1, so the orange juice scan, which is there, up, scan, up, 1, ups, and 2. I will put in a box. Now I will scan the other one that you can still see on the screen. I still have my soda can. 1, 2. I'm putting in one box, so going pretty fast. And so the last one will be the pack of water. So again, I'm selecting them. Oops. And I'm just adding them in also the box that I have there. So I'm scanning the box again. And I want to put all of them in one pallet, so I just need to scan actually the pallet there. I didn't mention there, but what you can see also that the system was always telling you when you need to pick those up. So you see there it was from pallet 4, box 11. So, and for a small explanation, this one was kept on the box 10 because the quantity of the box was 12, so it was perfectly fit. For those one, we did the reception before, and it was put on, there was 20 on those boxes, and so this is why it needs to be put in another box. And so now I can just validate it. And so it's my transfer is validated. And for the second one, just the last thing that I want you to show you is there. So now I'm like move until package configuration. So I can do, I will take my pallets, barcode that I have just printed in the previous step. Of course, I've done it in advance. I can say I will take the pack 6 and I will scan it. And let's say for the second one, I noticed that it was not a truck that came, but just a small van. And I cannot put 2 pallets, but I can just fit the box where I have placed. What I can do, I can just click on it, and now you have the unpack button. If I select this, you see that everything will be out of the box of the pallet 7 and still keep the box. So now what I have to do is scan the other one. So I will scan all my box there, the 16, 17, and 18. And it's simple as this, and now I can validate it. And we have done kind of a full flow for this. So now, at the end, oops, you can start now, all of you, to juggle with your packaging and package around the warehouse and play with this. And if you have questions, don't hesitate. Thank you for your attention. And now we are for the Q&A. A lot of them. Okay, well, just 1 minute. 2 minutes. 1 minute. Okay.
So we have the first question. He's saying that if we need to change the unit of measure, we need to make a new product. What is the best way to change it for already existing orders and transactions?
Yeah, that's still a bit the issue. So as we saw now, we can still, I saw at the beginning, if you didn't play with packaging and everything, just with some unit of measure, you can now still change it. Otherwise, the best practice, you will lose some history, but it's important to know that you can still, the best way is just to archive and create the new one. I know that's kind of the old way to do it, but we're still there, and so that's the best way that you can do.
Okay, so when you use button back, how does the system know that boxes go in pallets?
When you use the button back, because it was, I'm not sure to understand the question actually. If I remember good, is when I just remove everything. It's still in the system, it's still, you scan it, even you put the button back, there will be no other action there. I don't know if it was the answer, but otherwise you can still come to the inventory booth after to discuss about this.
Okay, how can I have a specific sales price for back of 6 and for the unit? Do I have to use a special price list?
Yeah, for this actually, it's more for the sales part. They are working on it, but for the moment, indeed for the sales part, the best way you can maybe work with some, if you know bill of material and kits, that's the best way to do it for the moment. But they are working on it and it should be available soon. That will work the same way that for purchase, but also for selling. Okay, so we are running out of time. So if you still have some questions, don't hesitate to come to the inventory booth and ask to me or my colleague.